33 on this Thursday. Good morning and welcome to the Hometown Morning Show with Tori and Kyle. Welcome in studio, Mr. Richard Sherman.
Hello.
Sherman with a Z, and I'll never understand that.
Me either.
Okay. Well, as long as we're on the same page. Richard Sherman from Alta Realty. What are we gonna you're the Superman of mortgages and fix-alls.
All things real estate.
So what are we talking about today?
Well, unfortunately, I had a couple things I was going to talk about today, but this morning I woke up and I read a report that just made me think I better kind of maybe bring this to the public's fore.
Okay.
The real estate market, because I'm always bringing you such great news, the real estate market is peaking. We're in it. This is it right now. When they look back at this period of time, this will be referred to as the peak, a la 2006, before the crash of 2008. And I was reading some information this morning, which I thought was very interesting, and that there are all these reports coming out now, kind of a flurry of them, from organizations that have an interest in giving you good news about real estate. And this is the trick here. They all use the year-over-year numbers, not the month-over-month numbers. Looking at year-over-year numbers with any commodity is a good way to figure out what it was worth a year ago, but it's not a very good way to figure out what it's worth now. And we're already seeing houses that are staying on the market longer. We're already seeing prices that are starting to dip. We're already seeing sellers who are more of a position where they have to sell rather than want to sell. Appreciation has essentially stopped. The market has stopped going up. But you get these ridiculous false reports that say, well, the numbers in July of last year were 33% higher than we were in July. Those are false. That's what they are. If you look at the month over month, the appreciation has stopped. All you have to do, if you're realtors know this, all you have to do is pull up the MLS. And in the MLS...
Multiple listings?
Yeah.
Is that what
the multiple listing service? I
get
excited about these things.
You have to. Well, no, you just have to, because I don't know all this stuff, and I try and even as much as I interview you, I try and retain all that stuff. But I'm still not you. So MLS is what?
MLS, multiple listing service, the database that all realtors use. It comes out of the Board of Realtors. It's an extremely useful tool. It is the real estate marketplace. The open market is really defined by the MLS.
MLS. Okay, go ahead. Yeah. So when you pull up the MLS,
and if you look at prices for any area, whenever there's been a price reduction, you'll see a little red arrow next to the price. And right now, it looks like the MLS sheets are bleeding to death because there are red arrows all over the place.
No.
And so be very, 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 very wary about anyone who tells you that the real estate market is still going up, because all the evidence is to the contrary. There are also 3 reports that have come out in the last couple of weeks that also say the same thing. One is from UCLA. There's a professor at UCLA who does... accounting and real estate, and he's talking about a 5 to 10% reduction in the coming months. There was another report that came out by Zillow, of all things, that noted that the number of price reductions in LA and Orange County is up almost 2.5% in the last few months, and that sellers have had to drop their prices on average a little over 2.5%, almost 3%.
How long does this last for?
It's going to be bad. I don't think it'll be as bad as it was last time, but we have...
And bad, you mean 2008?
I mean 2008. We have no institutional memory. It's like nothing I've ever seen. It's like an economy run by amnesiacs. It's the craziest thing ever. Most of the supports that are supposed to prevent this from happening again have now been either watered down or destroyed entirely. So the banks have this attitude, and we've been seeing this since the beginning of this year. The banks have this attitude that they can do no wrong. And when you take an organization that is supposed to govern them, like the CFPB, and Consumer Financial Protection Bureau,
thank you.
Which is supposed to be the cop on the beat as far as mortgages and things are concerned, and you put a guy at the head of that whose life's mission is to destroy it, never wanted it to create it to begin with, and he says silly things like it's Yelp for consumers, which it's not. That's ridiculous. Makes a good tagline. It's just horrendously untrue. The banks can do no wrong. They can do anything they want. I mean, the banks have recorded over the last year, most of the large banks have recorded absolutely record quarters. Wells Fargo had its greatest quarter in its history, I think, a year and a half ago. That's ridiculous, because they're reaping the profits that the economic supports that were put there to keep them from collapsing. They're reaping the profits still from those. And that's not getting passed along. It never has been. But it's gotten to the point now where it's just absolutely ridiculous. They feel they are bulletproof. And in my particular expertise when it comes to loan modifications and dealing with houses in foreclosure, we're seeing a rush, a wave of notices of default, NODs as we call them, which is the first public step in a foreclosure. We're seeing a wave of NODs. It was up 23% higher than it was last month in my office. We monitor about 100, 120 zip codes. That's how we organize it. And the number of filings for foreclosure in those 100 or so zip codes is up 23% in the last month. And it's going to keep going up.
What do we do?
You be aware is the first thing. Stop overpricing houses and things like that. If someone paints you a rosy picture and you decide to sign off on the bottom line because you like the sound of that rosy picture, just do your own research. Be a little smarter about it. Hope that whoever you're hiring or what a counsel you're talking to has accurate numbers that are not year-over-year numbers but are month-over-month numbers. And ultimately, other than being aware of the market, which is the absolute key, whether you're looking, in our particular case, if you're looking to buy a house, we have something called the Rental Rebate Program, where we will give you money to buy a house. If you're looking to sell a house, we have something called the Resale Renovation Program, which we will give you money to help fix up your house for sale, which has been a huge success for us. We're having a lot of fun with that. A lot of our clients are too. And then, of course, if you have a loan that's in trouble, come talk to us, whether it's a first or it's a second. This is what we do. And we do the loan modifications and all the foreclosure defense for free and have for many, 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 many years.
And how do we get a hold of you, Richard Szerman?
Call me anytime, 24 hours a day. I'm at 661-714-1400. That number again is 661-714-1400. And we'll help you out with whatever your issue is, whether it's a title thing you need some help with, we can point you in the right direction, whether it's an escrow thing, a banking thing, mortgage, whatever it is. We have a wide field of expertise dealing with people who are in trouble, and we fix the vast majority of the problems that come to our office, so call anytime.
You really do. You're Superman.
I'm doing my best.
Richard Szerman, always a pleasure, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for the information. Although it wasn't great, thank you. We need to hear it.
One day I'm going to come in with sunshine, just not today.
8:39, let's...